let's talk about those what if moments. And if you're not exactly sure what I'm talking about, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna explain. So, let's say you're sitting around one day, relaxing, maybe after a long day or something, and maybe you're sitting on the couch, all comfy cozy, your favorite TV show's on, maybe you popped in your favorite movie, something. Maybe you're laying in bed, can't sleep, or again with a good TV show and movie. You're driving in the car, something, and you start randomly thinking of something that happened maybe days, weeks, months, hell, maybe even years ago. And you start thinking, man, what if this happened instead of this? How different things could have looked, could have went. You get what I mean now? Okay, great. So, I have a list of some of those things here. Because, we like to keep things organized, professional. If you started laughing, I don't know how to feel about it. Okay, fine. Listen, we're 50-50 over here, okay? Change my statement. But these are just some of those what if moments that I've thought about lately. And let me know, have you been the same way? Are you the same way? And just sit back, relax. Grab a snack and a drink if you like. And let's just dive into this. So, one of them that I didn't write down was, what if, now this one I've been thinking kind of a lot lately. I don't know really what brought it on. But what if I was never let go from my first job? What if I still had it up until we moved? Or didn't move down here with my parents? How different things could have maybe have looked by now. Right now. When I started this ASMR journey, again, that one's played in my head quite a lot. Now, just for a little bit of a rundown. So, I finally found my first job in 2014. I'm not going to say the name of the place or what happened. Just know, it's beyond stupid. Maybe we'll save it for another time. I don't know. But after who knows how long it was, of searching those countless emails of, oh, we're going with other people, finally found it. Now, granted, it wasn't too bad at first. As time went on, kind of started not to be the biggest fan of the place. But not even a year into having it quite yet, I was let go. For what, again, I still think is beyond stupid. Again, it just... But again, I think, things could look different right now. I could finally be on my own. Finally have that peace and quiet I've been looking for. Finally have that place that I can call my own, decorate my own, and whatnot. I can easily sit down when I want and film my videos. Not having to worry about much of the background noise. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of, I wish it looked like that by now. But, it's life, I guess. Now, if I had to pick my dream jobs now, two come to mind. One that I kind of really thought about recently was, my hair is not cooperating. I'm almost getting like a Britney Spears moment. If you know, you know. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. Oh, one I had thought about recently was art commissions. Drawing something up that maybe people wanted. Maybe a painting even too. Whatever colors they wanted. Again, it's an idea. I can't really test these out anywhere, technically. Not many places give you that option of setting up Cash App, so that one's like, I don't know. But it's something that I have been doing for a while now. I got into drawing in 2013, and little did I know 2 years later how much it was going to help me with whatever was going on up here. So, who knows? And then the painting, I thought about maybe adding in there, I have been doing it since 2019, so. And then, of course, my ASMR. I always say, am I to the point where others were? They're 3 years in. Probably, definitely not. But I'm never gonna take that for granted. I'm never gonna complain about a number. I'm thankful just for whoever shows up, So, whether you have been with me since the beginning or you just joined, thank you. I hope you enjoy whatever random thing I upload, because, of course, it can get random sometimes. But yeah. Or even if you show up each week when I upload and you don't follow, still thank you. I hope you enjoy them anyway. So, honestly, fingers crossed, we can finally get to that point. Now on to some of the stuff that I wrote down. What if I never made a YouTube channel? What if I made one but never uploaded anything? What if I never had any interest? Period. Now, I've had YouTube since, I think, 2016, really. I have 2 accounts on here. I have my main, and of course this one. My main is the one I've had, of course, since 2016. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with it. But I think after having it for that long, it just sounds weird. When you think of a life without it. I never would have been able to share things that I loved. Overshare things sometimes. I'm sorry. I never would have found some of my favorite creators. So it's kind of a thinker. Now this one I almost didn't write down, and maybe you'll see why. What if I moved to a different state? Now, I am a girl who is originally from Cleveland, Ohio, who moved to Kentucky in the summer of '98 for my dad's job. He got transferred down there to who now lives in Indiana. But still, like, it makes you think sometimes, what if you had moved away somewhere? Granted, it probably, maybe could happen at some point. I don't know, of course. But, like, wherever you guys are watching from, do you sometimes picture yourself in another state? Another country, maybe? What if I could restart high school knowing what I do now? I think with that one, if I could eliminate the bullying part, I might consider it, because I feel like it would have been so much more of a pleasant experience, enjoyable experience, if that. Elementary through high school sounds great, honestly. It's exhausting. Granted, I don't know. I mean, once you hear the same things over and over again every day, it does get a little boring. Like, don't you have a life? Don't you? Is that the only thing that can come to your mind? You can't think of anything else? Are you that bored? I don't get it. I mean, because God forbid you don't wake up the most talkative person. Why? I don't know. It's just what happened. Mostly when I got into 6th grade, though. Granted, I hated it at school, but God forbid you don't wake up with the most perfect cities, which 5th grade mostly. What will become an insecurity of yours? God forbid you don't wake up the prettiest, which sounds awful. Now, I have my moments where you might feel ugly, but doesn't mean, no, I could never think that. I mean, but yeah, I mean, why pick on someone? Why find that one little thing that doesn't matter, that's not that serious, that's not a part of you, and pick on someone for it? Like, why does that bother you so much? Shouldn't it bother me a little bit? The math isn't mathing here. And it hasn't for quite some time. Hell, I sit around some days now where I think of stuff I could have said. And of course, you do that now, but when you think you would probably, get to know someone before you start your judging and whatnot, all that nonsense, you might figure out, hey, she's a cool, chill back person. Cool. Hold on. Chill, laid back person. There. I have tried to film this so many times. But yeah, think of all of the friends you could have made, I don't know. It still doesn't make any sense to me, It probably never will. And again, do I care what people thought of me then? Definitely not. Do I care now? No. Why would I? It's just an opinion. know, if you're someone who has gone through it, or maybe you are going through it really, keep that in mind. It's just an opinion. And their opinion does not matter. Never will. Don't let it get to you. Which I'm sure I probably did then. What if I never got diabetes? What if it never existed? Now that right there. Now, of course, William Park taking that out sounds great. Taking diabetes out of it, out of the world too, that definitely sounds great. If I could wave a magic wand and get rid of something, that would be on the top of the list, along with so many other things. Because again, it's exhausting. I was diagnosed August of 2001. My sister saved my life. She was just 6. And imagining a world without it sounds great. Like I said, I mean, I probably can't say that enough. But when you have gone through so many issues that basically started in 2009, I'm over it. I've been over it. Not even 25 years in yet. Which does not really seem real. You know, I mean, yeah, we could probably be here all day too. But I'll leave it at that, because thinking of a world where I don't have to keep an eating schedule, worrying about taking my medicine when I need it, worrying about going to the pharmacy and getting the medicine, worrying about making doctor's appointments, etc., etc. You know, the list goes on. It sounds all completely great. If I could go back to a time where I didn't have it and enjoy that, stay there, again, sounds like a blast. 100% do it. But again, I am thankful that my sister, that we shared a room, that she even heard me to begin with, and that I am still here because of her. That, you know, because thinking of so many things that I wouldn't have been able to experience, you know, like meeting my niece in 2019. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on to the more uplifting stuff. Let's move on to the little random what ifs, fun what ifs, I guess we'll call it. What if I met my celebrity crush? Now, I've had dreams where I've met, you know, different celebrities. But when you wake up and you realize it was just a dream, it's a little disappointing. There's always those moments where you have that one dream and you wake up again, realize, hey, unfortunately it's just a dream. But wishing you could go back to sleep and start over from that point where you left off. That's definitely a lot. What if he actually noticed me? Now, again, I play that moment in my head a lot. That one video maybe, or something, that one post, whatever it is. Again, dreams like that, I envision a lot in my head lately. You know, and yeah, probably definitely need some time to recover. Probably never recover. What if we had a conversation? What in the world would I say? Again, that's another point that I play in my head a lot lately. I mean, I imagine him being on my channel a lot. You know, just a little Q&A about the season stuff. I've thought about so many questions in my head. You know? Try not to say something stupid. But yeah, what if I never even watched the NBA? What if I never discovered Aaron Gordon's music? Now, there was a point where I didn't watch it when I was way younger. But I'm kind of thankful that that grew into me being a big sports fan. You know? You would have missed on a lot. So I'm glad that I watch it. You know, I'm glad that I discover his music, let alone, you know? The list goes on. We could probably be here talking about Aaron Gordon all day. But, you know, here we are. We're gonna move on. What if I went viral for something random? That one video I happened to upload just kept growing and growing and growing. Again, I think about that moment in my head. It's a great moment. I'm sure everyone who has had one already probably felt the same way. So, you know, fingers crossed it happens at some point, because that would be really cool. Last but not least, what if mental health didn't exist? What if mental health wasn't even a thing, period? That sounds heavenly. Just like the diabetes thing. You know, because I'm not even 11 years in yet. It will be in December. After my last relationship, which I hate saying that. You know, even though you know damn well that it's their loss. Definitely. But it would be great. You know, I think back to a life where I didn't even know what depression was. Where I didn't even experience it yet. Where, yeah, there were times when I was sad. But not like this. You know? Days where you actually wanted to get out of bed. Be productive. Not to have that heavy weight on you of feeling completely unmotivated to do anything. Just like some of the other things I've said, it's exhausting. You know? And I'm sure everyone else who is going through it, or maybe you have, feels the same way. But you try not to let it bring you down. You know? Head held high. You know, just be thankful for living. That you are here. So those are some of my what if moments, topics, whatever we'll call it. What are some of yours maybe you thought of recently? Thumbs us up if you enjoyed it. Definitely subscribe. Follow Girl everywhere else. Links down below. Art, ASMR, TikTok. The list goes on. Kind of. And as always, stay safe out there. And I will see you guys in the next one.